Hello everyone, my name is Liliana Amaro and I'm a sleep consultant based in Brisbane. Tonight I'm very lucky to be here in Twinfo, a website and a Facebook page for the parents of multiples, and I'm very honored to be here. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself so you know me. I'm a mother of 3 kids, Leon, Inca and Zelda. And I've been a sleep consultant for about 4 years now, and I do these kind of talks every week for a few groups in Facebook. They are very successful because I have the chance to talk to many people. Today, this morning, this afternoon, I have broke my own record. I had 1,400 views in one of my videos. The subject was a little bit different. I am an infant massage instructor, and I gave a tiny session on this, how you can massage your baby before bedtime or after shower, and introduce it into your routine, and it was very successful. So I'm very pleased today, very happy. I had a very hard day, but tell me about how is your Friday? How exciting, how tired are you feeling today? Anyway, I'm going to invite you, if you are watching and you have any questions related to sleep, or especially if the questions are related to the topic that we are discussing today, you are welcome to type it, and if I have a chance and I see it online and a good time, I can reply to you by speaking. Okay, what else? I have a group called Learning to Sleep, and I would like you to join if you are struggling in this in putting your babies to sleep. I know it's for some people it's very easy. For some people it's a natural thing. For some of us it's very hard. It's something that is not happening, and we are willing to discover the techniques and what can we do. Okay, the topic today is from the cot to a bed. This is a very popular topic, and I did touch this topic in different language last week. It was very successful, and believe me, it's a question that I get asked every week. When is a good time for me to change my my kid from his cot to a bed? I just done this change, and it's not the sleep is not happening. When can I put my kid out of the room? When is the good time? When can I do it? How can I do it? Can you please help us? So I did a very, very small document about it with 3 tips about how to have a very successful change, very smooth transition for you moving this baby or these babies from a cot to a bed. When is a good time? Why do you want to do it? This is all the questions that you may be thinking about it. So tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about it, and if you have any questions, again, put it in the comments. When is the best time to move my kid from the cot to a bed? The best time to do this transition has two points. First, we need to look at the age of your kid. Is your kid under 3 years of age, or is younger, is older? The recommended time and age for you to move a kid is 3 years. Why is this? Because before your kid turns 3, you will notice that your kid has no sense of space, is not conscious of where is he sleeping. And how can you notice this? When you put your kid into the cot or into the bed, you can start realizing if he's ready or not by the way he wakes up. If your kid remains in the same position that you put him into bed, then you have a clue that now your baby is almost ready because he's not moving so much. But what happens when you are placing your kid in the bed in the normal position with the head in the pillow, the feet to the other side, and then you come back later and it's on sideways. His feet are hanging off the bed and the head as well. What happened when you come back and your kid has the feet on the pillow, and the head where the feet should be, and then, or sometimes you don't even find your kid because it has moved to a point where we cannot even see it. That happened to me once. I was looking through the monitor and I could not find my daughter. She was exactly under the pillow and the rail, and it was very hard to see it, like in the other side where the monitor was showing, and it's surprising. So when you start noticing these movements, when you start seeing that your kid is not stable and is not staying in a same position, this is a very good sign that your kid is not ready. Why? Because he is still moving, he's developing certain movements, he's maybe learning to crawl, learning to sit, learning to stand. So these movements make him very unstable when he sleeps. And what happens if you move the kid when these movements are happening? Well, it can be dangerous because if it's a high bed, the kid probably falls, probably gets stuck. If you don't have the bed close to a wall, the kid might hang on one side. Maybe you will find half body on the other side. If the bed is a little bit away from the wall, you maybe find him stuck in between the wall and the bed. So there is many factors that can affect this and can happen. So the best thing is just to observe your kid and think about it. Is my kid ready? Many people or many mothers and fathers think that if my baby is not sleeping through the night and I make the transition now, I reckon he will start sleeping better. Why? Because he see us sleeping on the bed and he wants to copy us and he wants to be a grown-up and he will be so happy and so independent. I reckon my kid can get out of his bad sleeping habits by having a bed. Let me tell you that this is a very bad decision. When I did it, in my search for sleep or for putting my daughter to sleep, I decided giving her a little bit more freedom and trying different approach of the place that she was sleeping. She was going to sleep longer and stay in bed. Believe me, it did not help. What happened is created more problems because my daughter was going into the bed, coming out as she pleased. I used to put her at night time. She was happy she could jump into her bed, but what happened is during the night I used to find her in the middle of the corridor. She was waking up to come to our bedroom. She was 1 year, 1 year and 2 months, something like that, very little, very young, and I thought that will be the decision because I thought, oh, maybe she will feel older, she will be more independent. You know, my thoughts and many thoughts that we have. Yes, so she started coming down the corridor. A few mornings I found her on the ground, on the top of the pillows that I put because I had to put several pillows just in case she rolled. A few times I found her in right at the door, at my doorway in my bedroom. And what happened is one day it was winter, it was cold, and I wake up very early in the morning and I see her half of her body on the tiles and half of her body on the bed, inside the bedroom on the carpet. I felt terrible and I thought, definitely I don't think this is the way to go. I will have to put the rail back and try something else. So the problem didn't get solved. The problem is still there. She kept waking up through the night, several nights, and now my worries changed. My worries changed because now it was not just, is she awake? Is she awake and trying to come to my bedroom? She didn't make it to my bedroom. She's in the corridor. What I'm going to do? So it was very, very stressful. So I put her back, put the rail back, and I said, well, I'm going to try something else. Well, this is it. This is my story about moving a kid under 3 to a bed. I won't lie to you. There are kids that get moved earlier and sleep perfect. But usually these kids are always good sleepers, so it was never a problem. There are times that the mothers decide to move the kid, and the sleep of the child improves suddenly, and is perfect. That can be a very good luck, and is perfect. No, I won't say there are no cases. There are some, but you will never know until you try. And if you try and doesn't work well, you know that there is something else you need to fix. The second thing I would like to tell you, when is good time. The good time is always when your kid is already sleeping through the night. Then is a very good time for you to make this transition. Why? Because if your kid is sleeping through the night, and it doesn't matter really where he's sleeping, because he will remain sleeping through the night. Of course, it's going to be a period of adaptation, and a period in where he needs to adjust to the new environment, new bed, but it will be good result. If he's young and he's around 2 years, I just said, well, don't move it until he's 3. This is because you need to observe the movements when he's sleeping. But if your kid is still moving, but he's sleeping through the night, there are different techniques that you can keep a kid in the bed without falling. One of the tricks, I did a little video today. If you look in my Facebook page, sorry, you can see a little video that I did to keep the kids in bed. It's just a little trick to put a pillow under the blankets, and that makes a barrier and stops the kid from falling. Another one is the typical rails that they sell that you can fold up and down. That's another way. But if your kid sleeps through the night, then you can change it almost whenever you're ready. Okay, this is a good sign, good point, especially if you are going to have another child, and your child that you have now is sleeping very well. Well, you can make the transition before your baby is born, and it will be very, very smooth. Okay, and the third point is let me tell you what is the third. The third is how I make this transition very smooth and very easy for my child. How can I make it? Well, one of the ways to do this is to make this transition very, very interesting for the baby. If you start preparing your child, you start talking about it. There are going to be new changes. He's going to go into a new bed because he's a grown-up. The bed is amazing. Perhaps he comes with you and chooses the bed. Perhaps you're looking in the internet, which bed are you going to order, and he's helping you. He can make a little bit of decisions or give you a little bit of input. Even if he doesn't, you can pretend he's cooperating and having a little bit of influence into this change. This will make your child take ownership of the space. He will say, well, your bed is arriving, your bed is here, this is the very nice spacing where you are going to sleep. I invite you to come, let's have a look, let's put the blankets, let's make the sheets. The more emotion, the more enthusiastic you look and you are for your child, the more happy and the more excited he will be. This is a very nice way to do things, not just in the way for changing from the cot to a bed. If you want to make something happening very easy and very fast and very make it very excited, make it your best way. Tell your child that it's so special, that you would like to be there, that you love it, and then he will be happy. Of course, the environment needs to be safe, needs to be nice, adapted for a child, clean. Even if you are not lucky enough to have a room dedicated to a child, make his space special. Put a little sticker, put a little nice pillow, a little nice blanket. Put something that he has. Perhaps if he was using a little toy in the cot that he's really attached to, grab it, put it in the bed next to him, and make it make this space very special and make him feel special about it. That is the third recommendation, and is what is very effective. Obviously, the three go together. You know, I'm going to summarize a little bit. And checking the age, by 3 years, they are almost ready, and they will take the change very easy and more smooth. But your kid must be sleeping through the night, because if he doesn't, the problem does not go away unless you're very lucky. And you can test your luck here, but if not, well, you can then start trying different things, and then maybe you regret it because it gets worse and creates different issues. And the third one, make the place very special, or the change very special, the full change. Okay. Another lady asked me last week, okay, now I have this problem. It's not changing just from the cot to a bed. I got it in my bed and I want to pass it to the cot. Why you got it in a bed? Well, because my baby started waking up, and then I suddenly decide to do co-sleeping, and it's working. But now I'm ready for him to go to the cot. So this is a little bit of from the bed to a cot. How can I do it? What can I do it? Well, here is in where we need to look back, do a little bit of assessment on what is happening, what we need to do, why I need to do this, and then start implementing the changes. I can help you with that if you have no idea how to revert it. If your kid has, or your child has to sleep once in a cot, it's much more easier to get it back into it. Of course, a child develops a habit really easy, and we need to find a way to revert it. As I said, if you make things excited and very smoothly, and you're calm about it, and you are determined for these things to happen, they will happen. Okay. So another thing, the moms ask me all the time is, when is a good time for me to move my child from the bassinet to a cot, or to the little place where they're going to sleep now? When is a good time? Well, first, we need to look at the bassinets. The bassinets are small, are made for newborns. And when is a good time is when the child looks too big for the bassinet, when the bassinet there is no room, when your child is trying to stretch the hand and wakes up because touches the ends, the sides, when it starts rolling, and it cannot really roll because it touches the side, it stretches the leg and touches the leg, when it starts becoming a little bit dangerous, even because they start moving more, and it can even make the bassinet lost balance. So newborn until 3 months of age, I will say just it's recommended to move it. Check the size of your bassinet, and your bassinet will have a recommendation also by weight, because there are many kinds, many types. And always you need to do it when you think you're ready to do the change. Sometimes we don't accept the idea of our child being ready for a move and we wanted to be in the bed, or we want them to stay in the bed for a long time. Yes, we would like to, but it's not possible. I will guarantee you that the bigger the space that they sleep, the much better they sleep. And you can see this. As soon as you make the transition from a little bassinet to a cot, you start seeing how they relax more, they roll. And by rolling, by having more space, they can develop techniques to sleep on their own, to fall asleep, to resettle. When the space is really limited, the possibilities are limited as well. So you need to be aware of this, of the space that your kid is sleeping. Always make it safe. If you have any questions about it, any doubts, talking about multiples, what happened here when you have 2 or 3 babies that maybe are sharing the bed, maybe are sharing the cot, and you don't know when is a good time to split them, when is a good time to put them in their beds. Always feel free to reach out, to talk to me. feel free to put a post. People can give you an advice. That's why the groups are for, to create a community, and more than anything, to have help from each other. It's good to hear different opinions. However, be aware that you pretty much will have one of each, no? But before you do this, you need to have a little bit of your mindset that you are willing to hear, willing to listen, and willing to sometimes listen things you don't like. No, perhaps you were very convinced that you're ready to move it, and then you're watching this video, and then suddenly you say, oh, I was ready to go and buy beds because I was so excited because they're not sleeping very well. And I just heard this lady that said that if I change them before they sleep through the night, they won't sleep and it will get worse. Well, that's one opinion. What do you think? What do you want? Do you think you can do better doing your change? Go for it. Try. I always invite this. Doesn't work. You try. You go you go and buy the beds, and tomorrow you have a problem, a bigger problem, and then you say, "Oh my God, she told me and I didn't listen, or I heard and I didn't listen. What can I do?" Well, reach out. I can help you, because this won't be the first time I do. This is not the first time I listen, and as I said before, it did happen to me. Trying to fix a sleep problem, I did change from the cot to a bed, and didn't work. So I reverted. I put back my child in the cot, and everything was different. Of course, I had to do more work, but eventually it did work. Okay. Parents, today is all I have for you. I hope you enjoy. I hope you find something useful out of it. I have a little article and in my webpage, in Sleep My Baby page in Facebook. If you wish, if you will, you're wanting some tips and advice in regards of sleep, I'm always happy to help anyone, to speak to anyone. I'm based in Brisbane, got a clinic in Clayfield as well. I offer free sleep assessment to anyone in need, and I hope you have a very good Friday. I hope your kids are in bed, mine are, and now it's time to relax a little bit. Okay, thank you and good night. Bye.